Some artists create sound, while others create an atmosphere. Now, today's guest is one who blends emotions, music, and imagination. His work is proof that sound is not just noise, it is more about storytelling. What's up, people? Welcome to Quadinef. It is another episode that I am excited about. Now, just like every episode, I have a guest with me on the show, and every guest that comes on the show, you know that I'm always excited to have them because there are people or conversations I've been looking forward to. Now, my guest today, like I said, is a maestro when it comes to the art of music. He blends music, emotions, imaginations, he creates an atmosphere that we all love to enjoy. He is a Cameroonian producer, composer. He is so many things. We can call him a multi-potentialite in the ever-evolving Cameroonian creative space. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the one and the only Pchords. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. And just a little correction, something that I always have to do everywhere I go. It's not P chords, it's chords.
Chords.
Yeah,
So what's the P for?
No, the P is there. It has an astral meaning which I'm still here to bring to the public, but it doesn't mean anything for now. It's just silence,
for now.
like psychology.
Okay.
It's
okay.
like chords.
Chords.
Yeah.
So correction, we have chords on
that's good.
Cardinal. So how are you feeling being on Cardinal?
It feels good.
Okay.
I've always had a desire to actually be on some sort of podcast or a platform where I can, exchange ideas, as we rightly said, and open-minded conversations. And I feel good. I feel enlightened, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to have you also. But before we start, I want to ask you a question. Can you remember the first time we met?
Yo, I'm struggling. I think yes. Probably at Palais de Congrès, somewhere like that.
No.
I think it was for a movie, a Cran de Noir, something. I don't know.
No, I think it should be at EFC.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it EFC?
Yes, it was EFC. I think you were performing with Penboy that day.
Yes.
So guess that was the first time.
I'm sure, yeah. EFC has this galleries kind of place where they portray art, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
EFC.
I was Yaoundé has a lot of these art spaces and stuff.
Well, at least you remember, so I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm struggling.
So before we start, I love to put my guests on their toes by playing a game. So it's just a simple game.
All
So
right.
it's called This or That.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
So, studio silence or background chaos?
Studio silence.
So R&B soul or Afro-fusion?
R&B soul.
I knew that was the response to that. So daytime recording or late night mixing?
Late night mixing.
I mean, every creative loves working at night, so
Yeah, it's
I
quite
understand
easy.
that.
It's direct like that.
So producing for others or creating your own tracks?
Creating my own tracks. I feel really selfish.
No, it's good to be selfish.
Yeah.
Creating for yourself is usually cool because you get creative freedom to express yourself fully.
Mm-hmm.
So lyrics first or beats first?
Oh, beats first.
Okay.
When it comes to lyrics, if you listen to if you've gone through the birth or the process where I'm still growing of my music, it's very not lyrical like that.
Yeah.
It's like a hybrid of chants and I just, for the purpose of branding and let me say growing through in the music, I tend to try to add a little bit of let's say things that people can understand. Let's stop trying to be too spiritual. Yeah, okay. But we're still being spiritual, but let's try to at least come in there with a line in English or something like that.
Sure.
But honestly, with respect to lyrics, I'm not really a lyrical person like that.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm like when people ask me, okay, so what are you singing? What are you saying? I'm like, okay, music for me is not to be heard, it's
It's
to
to
be
feel.
felt.
It's to be
You
felt.
you
Yeah.
get, so that's why they say it's food for the soul. You don't
Yeah.
listen to the soul, you feel the soul. But still though, okay, I'll come in there with some lines and English. I'm like, so yeah, and yeah, lyrics they matter.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, but I'm not really big on them like
You
that.
know, I
Yeah,
mean, there are songs from other languages that we don't know
you
what
don't
they
even know
mean,
what they're
but then
saying.
we connect to them
Yeah,
for
sure.
the first time we get to hear them. So that makes a lot of sense. So, do you prefer solo creative projects or collaborative projects?
Solo.
I mean, you already mentioned.
Let's not be loud. Solo.
All right. So, do you prefer making hit music or music for the soul? I mean, that's obvious.
It's really obvious. Like I mean, like, but then you see that I think I've come to an understanding that you see when a song is like a hit song, no matter how controversial or eccentric or maybe quite not hit a song you expected it to be, the fact that a large population of humans can really find something in that song really, really vibe it to, or like something that really gets them want to really like it's everywhere. It shows that there's an aspect of it that is touching your soul. No matter how useless or maybe no, let's not say
Yes,
useless,
let's say
but
Jesus.
how not serious it sounds like. But yeah, we're human beings and we have a soul. So no matter how different a song might, or like you'll be like, oh, this song, I don't even know what the artist saying and stuff, but everybody is all about it. There must be something about it that actually got to that amount of people to get. So yeah, but obviously soul music, but then it's not, I just wanted to put it out there that okay, because the song is a hit song and doesn't make sense to you, doesn't mean that it's totally useless.
Absolutely.
It's music, like
Music, and I think music has its audience. Like
yeah,
every
exactly.
song has its audience, and there will always be people who connect to that. So
True.
thank you for indulging me.
You're
So
welcome.
before I start off in the more serious conversation, I love to take a step back. You know, people know you as Chords today, but then you had a whole story before becoming who you are today, right? Now I would
Yes.
want you to take us down the memory lane. How was it like growing up? What were the things you loved to do? What were the mischiefs you were up to while growing up?
Okay. Well, you see, growing up was quite fun,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah, I was I'm born into a family of three. Is it three? I don't know. I'm counting just my siblings for now. I'm the last born though. So two girls and me, the last born. And I come from a very religious background like that, like really religious. So, the idea of wanting to do music, it has never been like, it has never been like a plan or like, oh, I planned that, oh, I really want to do music and stuff. In fact, most of the things that happen in my life, I recently discovered, I most of the times not planned. They always just happened. Yeah. So, long story short, I used to. Oh, my dad used to play the keyboard and stuff. So, okay, I was like, okay, I started gaining interest in it. Let's say the music is in the family because everybody's like, oh, singing and stuff. How almost cursed. So everybody's singing and stuff, and yeah, from there, okay, started playing the piano, maybe like in the choir or stuff. Musicians always grew from like the choir and stuff like that.
It's like a
So
pattern.
yeah, it's a pattern. Yeah. That's where we have the most exposure and where we can grow our talent. So I think we should always give shout outs to the church. It's really good. Fast forward to 2016. That's when I think that's when the crisis started, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 2016. And I had to stay back home because of actually the crisis. So there was this period where I was doing nothing. And my dad was like, I don't know, I told him that, okay, let me do like some sort of maybe an internship program for hardware maintenance, computer. I was like, okay, yeah, it's cool. And let's do that. So it was during that training program, there was this guy. He used to always like, oh, I have this software where I can play the keyboard more than you is playing it like live. And I'm like, what are you saying? That kind of stuff. until he showed me. I was really marveled. I'm quite inquisitive of a person. I was really marveled, like, oh wow, so we can make music like this. And I was just like, oh, can I have the software stuff? So long story short, again, I got the software, and then okay, I started finding my way around. Got to the university, tried to get a laptop. Yeah, I did one or two things, and then I found myself in 2021. That's when I actually got immersed into the art community. That's when I discovered art. That's when I discovered poetry. I discovered theater, all of that. I knew nothing about that. And it's from there that I think my creative mind actually sunk into that space, and I got really exposed and, started working with poets. It's from this, my working relationship with poets, that I tend to discover this type of music that I do, what I try to call Afro spiritual. Reason being that, trying to make music for poets, it's not like contemporary music. Absolutely. It's not like, they have verses and, they have stanzas. I think in poetry, you call them stanzas. And it's not like you can sing a stanza, come to a chorus and go like that. So you need to like score the piece into existence. So I think I don't know if I was lucky, but that was like the beginning of my career started with me working with these poets. So I think that's what just shifted my mind into wanting to make this kind of music that is like film music. But then I'm like, okay, let me put African chants in it. So let's have something for the culture and stuff like that. And I think, that's just like a summary of everything.
Yeah,
of how
you decided
chords came about and all that. Like, stuff like that.
So I'm curious, why the name chords? I mean, it looks obvious, but I just want to hear from you, like, why chords?
Sometimes I really sit and I try to remember. You see, I was in high school. There's this thing where we used to like, okay, just you have maybe like a nickname, and I think, well, no, it's not like I started it, but when you go to schools and then people write their names with pear seeds on the walls and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just all of a sudden I just developed. Okay, I was doing it, but with people's books. So if I can just come like and I'll just write. I started with there's this G clef, this musical G clef thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think I started like that. I just started writing like that to be like, oh, this is my insignia or stuff like that.
Okay.
Then I don't know. I honestly don't know how I came out with chords, but it started as chords, as in Chords. Then after I put the P there and I was like Pchords. It started like that. And then I was just writing it on people's books like, oh, my name is now Pchords, stuff like that. And then it made sense because, okay, chords and I'm playing the keyboard. So it's making sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward when I came to the university, there's one day I wrote my name online or somewhere, and it was called Chor, then I put Z at the end. Now, a friend of mine was like, TK, he was like, but why did you remove the P from the chords? I think you should spell it as chords, then put the P there, but don't pronounce it. It makes it more like, it gives it a vibe. And it gives this, I don't know, was it weird or this strangeness to it, which I think it makes a good story. If not, I wouldn't be telling you about chords now like this. So, and I was like, it makes a lot of sense. Let's do that. So from now on, my name is Chords. The P is there, but don't pronounce it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then people are like, how can you say chords without P pronouncing? Okay, how do you say psychology? How do you say pneumonia? So like that's my backup. But that's how it came about.
I actually like it, but I feel like you writing starting from high school with the chord, it was like a form of speaking into existence. Into where you are today. And I just feel like everything we do, the universe kind of conspires in helping us to kind of, bring it forth.
Yes.
So you talked about, how you started and how you got to this point. Now, I want to know which point it shifted from just something you enjoyed doing to something you wanted to build a career out of.
Oh, I think that was when I won the God Découverte Prize in Yaoundé. I think that was 2023. Because before then I was I was still doing the music just as, oh, I really like to do music and let me do what I'm doing. It's just cool and nice. I never really had like, oh, this is what I want to do like for the rest of my life. So when I won that the GOIT program, the artist uh, program,
Yeah, go
the
découverte.
Go Decovet program, I won the program. Then we had a couple of trainings. Like they put me through a whole period of training me and building my mind on stuff like that before the concert and everything. I just like I said, it's not stuff that I planned. I just like realized that, but this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm doing this so well. So I don't and okay, actually, yes, actually, um there have been times where I've tried a lot of things. I've tried sports. I've tried what maybe singing in some group, or like I've tried a lot of different hobbies, and yeah, it works out. But then I always just don't feel I have this selfish mind where if I am somewhere, I want to be like, I want to stand out. I want to be the one that is like the I don't know, like the highest in the room. You
Okay.
understand? So not in the sense of me wanting to overshadow everybody, but
You
I've
want to
always craved
give in
this
your
uniqueness
best.
in what year. So I want to be identified like, oh, this guy does something which is really good. And I noticed that it was only with the kind of music that I do that I always had that priority, that preference. Like I was always, because it's really unique like that. And when I like show it off to people, I'm like, wow, this is really good. So after that program, the God actually treated me very well. They treat artists with so much respect. You know how Francophones are with artists, like wow. So they really just, I think it was from there where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I was like, I'm doing this. Like, this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, I think that's the point.
I mean, you said you came from a family of artists. Your dad played the keyboard. Was it something they were open to? Like, okay, you want to pursue music full
No,
time?
no, no, they were not open.
I mean,
It's,
African parents.
yeah, obvious. Like it's been a war. Like it got to a point where my dad was like, okay, um, you see this. He's like his this is reaction. It's like, I don't really know who are the people that are influencing you to to do this thing that you are saying you're doing, but then we are your family and we will allow you to go and do what you're doing. And when you fail, you'll come back and we will still because we are your family, we will still accept you in arms. So it's that's just like a summary of however it's been really difficult. But then I have this in astrology we have people that are ones, their life path number are ones, like one. And they have characteristics, they portray characteristics of people that they are like, they have the mind of their own. Yeah, they no matter how you might want to control them, they always have their ideas and they want to stick to them. Most of them are leaders. You get, if you try to calculate the life paths of most leaders, some of them are ones or people that have things that stand for themselves. So I'm a one, and no matter how you try to tell me that, oh, don't do this, or if it's making sense in my head,
You're definitely going
yeah,
for
it's
it.
slow. And it has a downside because sometimes you feel too overconfident that no, I'm correct, and you don't want to take corrections. Yeah, so I've had to struggle to, try to listen
Sort
to
of
people more,
balance.
yeah, and balance it and love. So, but with the family, it's been really tough, and I just don't really blame them. I'm not like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just the generation,
Generations are different, the mindset
yeah,
and
and
all
all
of
the
that.
like. So, and they and we African children, we have come to understanding that no matter how rugged your parent is with you, is because of love. We've come to understanding, and it's true though. Yeah, no matter how eccentric or orthodox their ways of showing love might be, but you know that it's love. So I just know that, oh, they're really just so worried, and but then sometimes I ask myself, okay, if you see me really fighting with you on something like this, I think it will not hurt so much if you try to be like, okay, let me see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try to even, what's this child really so much about this Afro spiritual thing? You understand? So That's
But then,
quite
like you
unique.
said, the generations are different,
Yeah.
and I think they come from the angle of sustainability, where they
Ye-
came from,
Oh
where
yeah.
you have to go to school. After school, you get a job, you wear suit and tie every day, you go and sit in the office, and in the evening, you go back home to your family. So they all have that mindset. So this transition, not like I'm defending anybody, but this transition can be hard for them because our generation, we are more of people who go out on our own to find the part that pleases us more. Most times for them, they just did the job that brought in the money and, the income to sustain themselves. But we were always more about self-fulfillment, living to the highest peak of self-expression. But
Yeah.
then I'm happy that you've been able to, create your own path and also share your beautiful music with us. Now, I know you grew up in Northwest, right?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
would you say growing up in Northwest had an influence in the way you create music?
Nah, maybe I'm yet to discover.
Okay.
But anything that has impacted my life as per me from the Northwest, yeah, it's probably maybe my strength, my what again? Yeah, Northwest people are really hardworking like that. I go to farm a lot.
Do you know
Yeah,
how to farm? I'm curious.
yeah, of course. I
What
know how to
what what
farm.
type of crops?
No, no. You're going too in depth. I know how to farm, and let's
No, we want
go.
to be sure. We
No,
want to
no,
be sure.
no. Well, I've gone. We followed our parents to the farm a lot. Crops, what cassava, maize, granules, all of stuff like that. It's not like I'm a guru in the farm, but then yes, I'm. In fact, I was not even based on the farm. Yeah, the one that has brought farming this thing. I was talking about strength, and then I said that Northwest
Can you
people.
see the traits of a last born? You don't need to find
I
it
was
too much. That's a last born. A last born has spoken.
yeah.
But
So
well,
so it's I don't know. And then my music is it's ancestral. It's not. In fact, I don't really. In fact, there's still so much to it that I'm still yet to discover. Yeah, but with
absolutely.
respect to the question, I haven't seen any aspect. But
Okay.
yeah, I used to. There's a friend of mine. He always prides like, "But I mean, boy, over no music," and like, but it's true. No bragging, but there's no bragging. But if creatives from Bamenda, what are they? Verse, Razy, Loic. I mean, this.
Sava.
It's
I'm not going to. I'm
so,
not going to contradict or fight anything. Yeah, I'm not. It's
so
not my
yeah.
battle to fight. So, what would you say is an emotion that you find yourself expressing the most through your music?
Melancholy. I like melancholy so much that sometimes when like I'm in so much euphoria, I'm like not happy because I cannot create because I think I depend most of the time on melancholy to create. Yes, but
Happens to me a lot too.
and actually if you listen to this to the songs, they are they're always slow. That's why, okay, like I said, I'm growing into it. I'm trying to develop it, and I'm even trying to be not too like why it's, I was in a press conference one time and somebody was like, okay, hey cause we see the music is good and all the like, but why is it always sorrowful, sadness? Are we going to have other versions of Afro
Of
spiritual that is
course.
not sadness? And I was like, yeah, let's just say this was the base on which I started the genre on. And I hoped that, but it's not only sadness though. Yeah, I have songs that talk more of like triumph,
Yeah.
conquering. It gives you this like boom, 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 the drums and all the like. Yeah, so it's not only sadness. It's just that syncs with the type of elements and instruments I use. They just give this ethereal, soothing vibe that wants to keep you in a calm, meditative kind of state. And most often it might be attributed to melancholy. But truth be told, it's always around sadness, self-reflection, introspection, stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, somebody said Afro sadness, but it wasn't me that
What?
said it.
No, there's no sadness like that.
So, some days ago, you released Chants of Favor, or you posted something related to Chants of Favor,
Oh yeah.
and you spoke about it being a vulnerable project for you because it was like a letter to your younger self or something like that. Can you tell me about how that came to be? And if you could share why that song is vulnerable to you.
It's honestly, I actually just recently discovered that I had gone through series of child trauma. Yeah, I don't really fancy the idea of painting a picture of vulnerability. Like I told you, I'm a one. That's also another characteristic. We don't like to look like we're weak, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But then it's something that actually I just recently discovered that somebody spoke to me, and pointed traits like, look at these are things are showing that you have gone through stuff like this as a child. You get and I don't, on it, to be very honest with you, when I create my music, I have almost no idea what I'm doing. I give the title of the song when I'm done with the song, and actually then come into realization of why I wrote the song. You
Okay.
get. So I just created that song. And I think it has to do with a lot with my subconscious, because nothing happens for nothing. You get. So I created that song, and then it's later on that I started trying to be like, okay, try to ask myself, what am I doing? Because I need to tell a story to the public. You understand? So in as much as it's not as though I'm trying to create a fictional story, yes, but it's just that the story always just comes as a realization after the manifestation of the thoughts in my head. I really don't want to sound weird, but it's like we have the subconscious and the conscious mind.
Yes.
You can most often than not know what's in your subconscious. It might just happen through some small traits, and you'll be like, oh, this is happening, but that's your subconscious mind happening. So I think with me is that when I create, and then later on, since sometimes when I have inspiration to create music, I just do it at the spot. You understand? I create songs like this is the only song that used like 2 to 3 days to create. Most of my songs like 2 3 hours. I record, produce, mix, and master. If not that, we like when you want to distribute a song, it takes like a week. I will have been dropping songs like every day. Yeah, on that. Yeah. So after I created, and I was like, okay, why am I creating this song? So I'm asking myself that question, and then everything just came into it. I just realized that, oh, this is the reason. And if you see the lyrics, it's like I'm telling myself that, oh, I'm accepting that, oh, I went through some things as a child. I don't feel comfortable sharing them.
Oh,
And
that's fine.
I'm just like, okay, boy, you are past that. Accept that you went through that, and you've healed now, and you're becoming a better version of yourself. So I think that song is like a manifestation of me saying that I'm now a new person. So that's why it's like chance of favor.
Favor.
And the cover art, the song is not yet out. It's going to be
Yes.
out on Monday. The
Okay.
cover art is actually a picture of when I was like 7 years old or something.
Okay.
So you get how the story is.
Yeah,
It
it
makes
makes
sense.
total sense.
So
I
I'm
mean,
like talking to my younger self, you know.
yeah, it makes total
Makes
sense,
sense, right?
being able to accept, sometimes for you to move forward, you have to have that whole acceptance that, okay, this happened, but we are past that. And
We're
also, you
past
have
that.
to release yourself from that to, look into the future
Oh yeah.
on the things that are to come or who you want to be, looking forward. And it's really beautiful how in touch you are with yourself, how intentional about your creativity and also your music. And it's something that we rarely see because sometimes people just want to create for creating purposes. People just want to put things out there, for the hits, for the likes
Oh
and all of
yeah.
that. But then being able to create something that, connects not just with yourself, but then with people who get in contact with, it's something really, really special. And I want to tell you, thank you once again for deciding to share your talents with the world.
Thank you.
Because, like I love to tell people, there is something inside each of us that the world needs to hear. And when you find that which is yours, your story is not meant to be for you. You're meant to share it with as much people as you can. So, do you have any dream projects that you are manifesting, or a dream project or a dream collab you want to have right now? Like if they are to call you, your year is made or your day is made.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, I there's this project, Echoes of the Ancestors.
Okay.
So I used it to apply for some touring opportunities. One of our cultural organizations here in Cameroon. So it's just basically it's me trying to bring back our African heritage through sound and music. So it's just basically me making African spiritual music and presenting it to an audience, but for the purpose of us understanding that Africa is, it's everything beautiful, and there's a lot that we have that we don't know. So I think maybe through music
You can be
I
able to
can
do
pass
that.
on that information to the people. So talking about it, the results of the project whatsoever, it should be out on Monday. What a coincidence!
Monday, a lot of things are
A lot
happening
of
on
things
Monday for
happen on
you.
Monday. So Monday, I am seriously manifesting that I should be selected amongst one of the project grantees of it, and yeah.
We're keeping our fingers crossed
We
though.
are definite. And also, I also manifesting a song with Blake Bassey.
Ooh.
I mean, like, I don't even know what to say, but I resonate so much with his art, and I
Okay.
just wish that sometime the day is coming though.
Yeah, it's definitely
But it's
coming.
something like, okay, I'm sharing what I'm really manifesting right now. Those are one of the key points in my life that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah.
What are our projects outside the country? Is there someone you would like to work with?
Not that I know of
Okay.
currently, but yeah, yeah, obviously I have people that I look forward to. It's just that, that's why they always tell us that don't limit your manifestation because the universe is not on a budget or something.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
there's Hans Zimmer, there's Lon Bav. Those are,
Hansima, oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah. So those are people that, I mean, just to have an audience with them, even like a minute, will mean the world to me. So yeah, looking forward to that glorious day.
I mean, we're doing a lot of manifestations on
Yeah, a
this
lot
on
of
this podcast. So when it
manifestation.
happens, we're going to put this episode back up and say we said it here first. You heard it here
Yes,
first.
yes.
Now you've spoken about how you approach, creating for yourself. When it comes, you just go directly into it. So how do you approach working on projects like probably scoring for a film or a commercial or working for someone else?
Hey, okay. It's almost the same as I do even for myself.
Okay.
So if I have a project for maybe a film or somebody or whatever, one thing with me is that I don't force creativity. Yeah, and I'm seriously trying to put myself, even though there are some times where you need to, it's not like you're forcing the creativity, but you need to really just tune your mind into like, just, you need to do this now. It's just that I really just, like I said, I don't like to force things. I like things to seamlessly just happen, like let it just happen. So most of the time I always want to be inspired before approaching a song or whatever. But there's nothing really different about making music for other people, unless it's not film type or scoring kind of music. If maybe it's like, the normal genres, Afrobeat, hip hop. Yeah, that's like, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but that's like easy stuff. So it's something that we can just, do something really quick and all that. Like, but now when it comes to Afro spiritual, it's difficult. Honestly, it's so tough to make. It's so
You
difficult
have to
that I,
connect.
I need to connect. I need to connect. There's sometimes where, like, there's one time I woke up like around 3 a.m. the morning. Like I was sleeping, I just woke up like, I just ran to like, that kind of like, you're really feeling something and just like, let me do this, let me do this, and you do it. So sometimes it gets you on our way. That's just, in fact, those are some of the things that make me know that I'm having somewhere I'm going to. It's like, I cannot be going through all these kind of things and you tell me that it will not work out in the end. So it's like,
Definitely have to
definitely,
go.
it has to. He has to
He
work
has
out.
to work out. There's no second
He
option.
has to.
I mean, even in the Alchemist, it says, when you put your mind to something, the universe conspires, to give you and get you to where you want to be. And
Yes.
I mean, it's a universal law, and it always, always turns out to be that. Now, like I said, I love to keep my guests on my toes, so we have another game to play. So I'm going to start a
Games.
sentence, and you're going to complete it without thinking too much.
Really?
The first thing that comes to your mind.
I should warn you. Let's go. My mind is messed up.
Okay. The first song I ever made was.
Grass. What? You said I should not think, right?
Let's just keep it going. Okay. When I'm not making music,
Eating.
a good producer knows when to.
Stop. What? You're too fast. Is that the point?
Yes.
Okay.
My creative process is.
Ambiguous.
The most honest song I've ever written is.
Flawless.
If I couldn't create, I would probably.
Drive.
What people don't see is.
I wanted to say I suffer a lot, but no.
What people don't see
Rice.
is.
What rice? I don't know what I was saying.
My proudest creative moment so far was when.
The show at Great.
Cameroonian music is.
Wonderful.
In 5 years, I see myself.
Playing at Arena 2. What? I'm confused.
I mean, you did. That was the point.
Okay,
It
that's
was
the
just-
whole idea.
Yeah, the whole idea was to
Yeah.
just keep you on your toes, and the person that
And I
comes
usually
to
do
your
this a
mind.
lot to artists. I'm
Ah.
like, just say, don't think, just say.
You see,
Now I'm
you're
on
the
the
one
hot
on the hot
seat.
seat.
Okay, but it's cool though.
Okay, let's talk about your alter ego. Your alter ego is a completely different person
why it's
from
alter
us. Yes, I just want to say your alter ego is funny, talks a lot, is up to so many things. And whenever I go through that page, I'm like, are you sure this is the same person? But well, that's the point of an alter ego. So please, can you talk about coming to create that character separate from Chords? Who is Afan?
Who is Afanyu? Afanyu is actually my name though. Like
Yeah,
my
I know
real
it's your
Okay,
name.
you know it's my real name.
Yeah, so I want to know who is that aside from Chords.
You see, I have a lot of personalities.
Okay.
A lot. Like just the ones you've seen online is the ones that I can show you. And
And the others, where can we see them?
you cannot see them anywhere. It's more like a
Okay.
personal experience.
Yeah. makes
So
sense.
actually the Afanyu, that page, or in fact that side of me that I choose to show online, it's when I started getting into fitness. That was like I think that was last year. That was the last year around November. Yes. I actually started like doing endurance runs, marathon stuff like that in January. In fact, that's when I started trying to just get into it, and then I started loving it. Then fast forward down to November, I was like, oh, I don't know. I just found myself in the gym and stuff like that, and then I don't know. The thing with me is that I love creating content so much that and I always see potential in everything. So, it's like, let me say, going to the gym, it's easy to make content. Just put a camera and doing what you're doing, put a sound behind, look for some code and put it up there, and you've had content. And I will tell you that you cannot imagine that my gym account is growing more than my music account, and I really feel so bad about it. But it's just that it's something that people easily relate to. So creating this content, I was like, and I'm always a person that is always advising people, oh, you're a graphic designer, you're designing for people, get the social media, put your things online. You understand? So I was like, but I'm making a lot of this content. What am I doing with it? So I was like, okay. And I cannot mix that with my music. It's like conflict of interest. So I was like, okay, I'm going to create this new account. And it's not just going to be just me and my fitness journey, but it's just going to be a part of me that it's not music. I can dump it there without getting scared of it conflicting with my music. And it just came like that into life.
And it is now a very, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm taking it really serious like that. I hope it does not overshadow to my music.
No, there are two different worlds. People might not even know it's you, unless maybe they see the face, because Afanyu is there cooking for his girlfriend's birthday, part one and part two.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it's really beautiful to see how they said creatives can be anything, so you can have multiple sides of you
Oh
to
yeah.
be who you are and express yourself in any other way. But then it's been really beautiful, getting to have this conversation with you on a personal level. So I want to ask a last question,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So how do you think Cameroonian music right now, how is it evolving for producers and composers right now?
Oh, that's really really good conversation to have. Well, Cameroon music is really evolving into something great. I think we have witnessed a lot of great icons that are, coming up, and we are really impressed. And people are like, oh, this guy's a Cameroonian, it's really good. First of all, I don't like that reaction from people when they
Yeah.
listen to music. I'm like, hey, the guy come on at Cameroon. What do you mean? Like, but anyways, I don't blame the audience because they have not been used to seeing things that have a lot of potential like that. You
Okay.
understand? We are creatives. Like we know, me and you were sitting here, we probably know some Michael Jackson in the quarter that is really good,
Yeah.
and we know, but people don't know. And when they get exposed, they're like, oh wow. But when it comes to the music in Cameroon, it's going to a very beautiful place. Trust me. Like even with respect, even to film, like
Yes.
film is becoming something that I'm really really proud of.
Yeah.
It with respect to quality, creativity, and it's coming to something that's really good. When you talk of the case of producers, I have a problem with Cameroon music producers, us producers, because whenever we start off our careers as producers, we always tend to divert and go and start singing, and it's really not good because I don't like the idea that you because you know how to sing means you should take singing serious more than hosting, like doing what you're doing right now. You
Okay.
understand? I believe that because you know how to do something doesn't mean you should alternate it for what you really like. What is your purpose to do? You get?
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
it's something that I've noticed with a lot of producers. Maybe the reason is being that okay, they like to sing and then they know how to produce, so they can
Can
produce
just
their own
easily
songs at the
produce
ease.
and put
Yes,
it out.
but I feel like like when you're like in a movie or something, you see the crew, like the people who are behind the cameras.
Yes.
You get like they have a very crucial job,
Yeah.
and without them, all what you're seeing is useless. You understand? And I really admire the fact that they are there and they're doing what they are doing and they stay there. You understand? And I feel like producers should avoid trying to. You can sing and all the like, but let it not overshadow your career as a producer, because you play a very vital role
Vital.
in the music community. When I was being interviewed at the Good Institute, they asked me a question like this, and I said the same thing, and I was like, that's why I brand myself as a musical artist. You understand? I'm not like an artist per se, like Celine Dion singing and all the like. I'm a musical artist, which I mean I use music to communicate to my audience. And it's just that okay, that's why I might want to chant a little bit. My voice is also an instrument. But you will not see me going somewhere and really trying to be all lyrical and singing and harmonizing and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm trying to remove myself from the fact that producers are according to singers. I'm trying to not. Yeah, I'm trying to remove myself from that pole. But then I think we are going somewhere powerful. We have a lot of talent, and with time, everything as things are evolving and time is modernizing. We're getting to a point where like we should be producing great talents here. So
Absolutely.
it's great. We have great talents
There's
here.
so much
A
talent. There's
lot,
and so much potential.
a lot.
Yeah. So there's an exercise I make my guests to do. That's the last exercise. Don't worry, I'm going to leave you soon. That's
Yeah.
the last exercise. So you're going to write a letter to your young self.
I just did, like, it's going out on Monday.
Yeah, but on my show, you still have to write a letter to your young self. So I think it's a coincidence,
All
or
right.
maybe the universe wanted it to happen. But
Yeah,
you're going to write a
probably.
letter to your young self. So you start, dear, I don't know, was he called at that time? Was it dear Afa?
It was favor.
Okay, favor, dear favor, comma. You can continue the letter.
I should do it like now.
Yes.
I'm a little bit shy. But okay. Dear favor, it has been a long ride, and we've been through a lot, good, bad, ugly, and this is just to inform you that we made it in the end and the dream was accomplished. I'm really proud of you, and I wish you could have the magical possibility to be here right now to experience what is happening. But hey, man, we really did it and it was wonderful.
Oh, that's a beautiful letter. And I hope your future self, when it gets to watch this sometime in a few years to come, you'll be proud of where you came from and where you are going. So thank you once again for coming to Quadinef. I had so much fun
Thank
and you're
you.
so much cooler in person. I don't know who sat here. I saw all sides of you, but then
Yeah.
I had a good time. And thank you also for correcting me. Chords
Yeah,
without the
chords.
P.
Without a P.
The P is silent.
Very much silent.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just had the most amazing Chords, a phenomenal musical artist. So, you should go check him out, check out his work. It is so amazing, something that you can connect with, and something that soothes your soul with so much magic and so much love, so much emotions, even if it sounds like, in quotes, Afro sadness, but it's not.
It's not
But
sad.
then, catch you on the next episode of Cardinal of I remain your host, the Voice German. Always remember there is something inside of you that the world needs to hear. See you on the next episode.